Hello everyone, welcome to Arpita Sharma classes. I am Arpita Sharma, your educator, and today we are decoding the Hindu newspaper dated 26th of July 2021. आज हम 26 जुलाई 2021 का हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर डिकोड करने जा रहे हैं and today I have taken a different approach for decoding the Hindu newspaper for all of you, and the approach is related to the handmade notes. So I have created the handmade notes for all of you in order to make you understand the important topics that you have to take out from the newspaper from the perspective of preliminary and mains examination in your UPSC CSE. I hope you will love this approach and I hope you will understand via this approach how to make notes from the newspaper. इस approach से मेरा मकसद एक ही है, आपको ये समझाना कि न्यूज़पेपर से important articles को सिलेबस के perspective से कैसे छांटना होता है और कैसे उसमें से notes निकालने होते हैं. ठीक है, प्रीलिम्स के लिए क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है, मेंस के लिए क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है, ये कैसे पता करें जब आपको सिलेबस पता हो. सिलेबस पता है उसके बाद नोट्स बनाना इजी हो जाता है. सो अकॉर्डिंगली वी आर गोइंग टू मेक नोट्स एंड अकॉर्डिंगली आई एम गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन टॉपिक्स टू ऑल ऑफ यू. एंड आई हैव आल्सो डिकोडेड वन एडिटोरियल फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू. मैंने एक एडिटोरियल भी डिकोड किया है ताकि आपको समझ आए, सो दैट यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड हाउ टू रीड द एडिटोरियल्स. ओके, सो लेट अस स्टार्ट विद दिस हिंदू एनालिसिस लेक्चर सीरीज बाय मी अर्पिता शर्मा. The first important article on page number 1 you will find related to art and culture, and it is relevant for your preliminary examination. Telangana temple gets World Heritage tag. So a very diplomatic triumph of India when the 13th century Ramappa temple, which is in Palampet, Telangana, was declared as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And it was declared as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in the online meeting of the World Heritage Committee, which is WHC. यहाँ पर आप देखोगे World Heritage Committee, which is in China, and Russia supported our side, or you can say Russia supported in getting this Telangana temple the World Heritage tag. However, Norway was the only country which opposed the move, citing ICOMOS's conclusion. ICOMOS, it was established in 1982. It is International Council on Monuments and Sites, which is a global monument conservation body. You can say it's an NGO also. Okay, तो ये एक इंटरनेशनल काउंसिल है जो मॉन्यूमेंट्स और साइट्स का लिस्ट बना के रखता है. उसी ने ये कंक्लूड किया कि तेलंगाना के इस टेम्पल को वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज टैग मिलना चाहिए. नाउ दिस टेम्पल इज रामप्पा टेम्पल. ओके, इट इज ऑल्सो नोन एज रुद्रेश्वरा temple, and the nomination for this temple to be given the World Heritage tag was made in 2014. So from art and culture's perspective, let us understand the Rudreshwara temple. Now, why it is also known as Ramappa temple? Ramappa was the person who constructed this temple. Okay, so who was the architect, not the labor, the architect who helped this temple get constructed. So this is the first time that a temple, it was the first time that a temple was named after the architect. Ramappa was the architect, and Rudreshwara temple, its original name is Rudreshwara. Why? Because it is dedicated to Lord Shiva, Lord Ramalingeshwara, okay, which is Lord Shiva. And आज तो सावन का पहला सोमवार है, तो Lord Shiva के इस टेम्पल को वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज टैग फाइनली मिल गया. ठीक है, it's a very sacred day today also. So it's a 13th century engineering marvel named after its architect Ramappa, and it was built on the orders of the Kakatiya general Rikarla Rudra. Okay, and this was built during the period of the Kakatiya ruler. Kakatiya empire उस वक्त चल रहा था, रूलर का नाम था गणपति देवा. So you have to study from the medieval Indian history perspective today about the Kakatiya empire also. Okay, and the temple architectural style is that of Vesara, or you can call it Bhumija. Why? Because the platform on which the temple is made now, it is star shaped. So it is called by Marco Polo as the brightest star in the galaxy of temple, and it is made up of reddish sandstone. एक तरीके से ये शिवालयम है. आलयम means the house. Shiv means Lord Shiva is housed inside this temple, and it's a east facing temple. So you can see this is the formation of the temple. आप देखोगे star type platform में ये temple बना है, and the foundation of this temple is built with sandbox technique. What is a sandbox technique? Sandbox technique is usually used in constructing temples. Filling the pit dug up for laying foundation with a mixture of sand, lime, jaggery and karakya. Jaggery is used for binding the materials, and karakya is a black myrobalan fruit. okay, for binding purpose only. And the flooring is of granite, pillars are made of basalt, जो आपके volcanic lava होता है वो सूख जाता है, जब dry हो जाता है तो वो basalt rocks बन जाता है. And lower part of the temple is red sandstone. And the gopuram, the entrance of the temple, the white gopuram is built with light bricks that reportedly float on water also. They are so light. So that is the temple structure architecture. ये मैंने आपको temple architecture समझा दिया. Temple architecture is a part of art and culture. Okay. Now the question is, how is a World Heritage Site selected? एक World Heritage Site को select कैसे करते हैं? The first step is nominating. So this temple was nominated in 2014. by the government of the country. तो इंडिया ने इसको नॉमिनेट किया 2014 में. Site should have an outstanding universal value. Now, how to determine the outstanding universal value? There are 10 enlisted criteria. 10 criteria होते हैं कि बहुत ancient होना चाहिए, कुछ historical significance होना चाहिए, कुछ historical story related होनी चाहिए. Those are, you do not have to delve deeper into that. Just remember, the temple should have outstanding universal value. The proposed nomination must satisfy at least one of the 10 criteria in the outstanding universal value. And the nomination file is then evaluated by International Council on Monuments and Sites. I told you, ICOSMOS, okay, and the World Conservation Union, WCU. These bodies then make their recommendations to World Heritage Committee, and the committee, which meets once per year, every year एक बार ये committee मिलती है, then it determines to list this site as a World Heritage Site or not. Before we move forward, is a small announcement for all of you. This is the correct time if you are starting your preparation for 2022 or 23 or 24 attempt. This is the correct time for you to do so. Why? Because Unacademy is coming up with list of offers for all of you, which will help you in taking the right decision on and also framing the right journey for yourselves. So the batches that we are providing now, right now, from 22nd to 28th July, those batches will have extension till mains. They are not just for prelims. They will be extended till mains, and additional 10% discount we are providing if you use code ARPITA10. अगर आप ये code use करते हो ना तो आपको extra 10% discount भी मिलेगा, and free test series only on the combo pack, that is GS plus optional combo pack if you are taking. तो यहाँ पर आपको 25% discount तो already Unacademy दे रहा है. 10% you will get from this code, and GS plus optional के साथ आपको optional test series भी free of cost मिलेंगी. The optional test series, you will get them free of cost. And Unacademy notes, the books, there are 20 books from prelims and mains perspective, list of 20 books which will be delivered to your doorstep. आपको physical delivery मिलेगी books की. And we are giving CSE assured to students who are taking 2 or 2+ years subscription on Unacademy Plus. What is CSE assured? So in case after taking 2 years subscription on Unacademy Plus, you are not happy with your result, you will be given 1 year subscription, extended subscription for the batches on Unacademy Plus and the test series free of cost from Unacademy's side to help you clear your exam. And test series worth ₹30,000 for prelims and mains will be given to you free, okay, with these batches. Now these offers are just till 28 July. 1 अगस्त से प्राइस हाइक हो जाएगा. अगर आप अभी लेते हो आपको प्राइस मिलेगा 57,500 ओनली. इसी प्राइस पे आपको सारे बेनिफिट्स मिलेंगे ऑप्शनल तक. बट अगर 1 अगस्त के बाद लोगे तो प्राइस हाइक हो जाएगा. सो मेक श्योर दैट यू टेक योर सब्सक्रिप्शन टुडे, बिकॉज फ्रॉम 28 जुलाई ना न्यू बैचेस आर स्टार्टिंग. सो द लिंक्स आर गिवन बिलो इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स बिलो दिस वीडियो. You will find them. Take your subscription accordingly. Now the next important news, as you can see, is 9 killed as boulders hit vehicle following Himachal landslip. Here you have to study about landslip. So landslip or landslides, they are rapid movement of rock, soil and vegetation down the slope of a mountain or hill under the influence of gravity. Okay. Now there are different reasons behind the landslips or landslides: earth flow, mass movement, or mud flow during the rainy season. And these are all examples of landslides. There are different types of landslides that you can study in your geography textbooks: falls, topples, slides, spreads. These are different kinds of landslides that happen in the mountainous regions. Coming on to this important article, with Godavari in spate, Andhra Pradesh issues first flood alert. So the authorities of Andhra Pradesh have issued the first flood warning for the Godavari in Andhra Pradesh as the discharge of water reached about 10 lakh cusecs at the Sir Arthur Cotton Barrage in Dhawleshwaram. Now here you have to study about the warning alert has been launched by the NDRF, by the government of Andhra Pradesh, and NDRF and SDRF are now ready to control the situation. The water because of monsoon has increased in the Godavari river, because of which the flood alert has been issued. So Godavari river के बारे में prelims के perspective से पढ़ना जरूरी है. Godavari is also known as Dakshin Ganga, which is India's second longest river after Ganga river. The source of this river is Triambakeshwar, which is near Nashik in Maharashtra, and then it flows east and drains the states of Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Odisha. You have to remember the states where the water drains. Okay. Now finally it ends up in the Bay of Bengal. Now this is the largest peninsular river system, Godavari river system, and it's a sacred river also, because the Kumbh Mela also takes place on the banks of Godavari. The tributaries of Godavari, you have to remember them from prelims perspective: Pravara, Purna, Manjara, Penganga, Vardha, Pranhita, Indravati, Maner and Sabri. Pranhita is a combined flow of Venganga, Penganga and Vardha rivers. Okay. Now you have to remember there are the disputes also regarding or related to Godavari river. The water sharing disputes which are going on between Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha and Karnataka. And there are different projects on the Godavari river like Polavaram irrigation project, Kaleshwaram project, Sadarmat Anikat, Inchampalli project or Shriram Sagar project. These are the different projects that you can study about. Now the next important editorial that we are going to decode is, are law and technology a solution to fake news? Now this is another important article, because here the stakeholders are attempting to find a very strong and effective solution to sift away the fact from fiction, to identify the fake news and to eradicate it. Fake news and its associated social problems have been a major concern, and Indian government has been attempting to bring in several legal amendments to deal with the creation, propagation and effects of the spread of fake news. Social media companies are also investing billions of dollars into technological solutions like artificial intelligence to identify the fake news and stop its spread. Now the question is, what are the solutions to stop the spread of fake news? First is, legal systems should be more robust. Legal systems should be made more strong. Formulation of laws. Now if we say that we are formulating laws to prevent fake news, that is not enough. It is not to prevent a wrong action. Second solution is contextually analyze the fake news. We need to understand the reality behind the fake news instead of spreading it or instead of accepting it. Third is increase in history learning programs in worldwide, because if you know the historical background of the article or the news, then only you can identify it from the fake ones. अगर आप किसी topic के बारे में historical background उसका अच्छे से जानते हो, historical learning means when you have your point of opinion, when you have your own viewpoint, when you can contextualize it, when you can corroborate it with the facts, actual facts, then only you can identify what is fake and what is real. And next is Article 51A subsection H. We will study that also. Okay. Now fake news, what is it? Fake news is the disinformation that has no basis in reality. Fake news is information which is disinformed, which has element of flaws, that has no basis in reality, but it is presented as fact, being designed to manipulate both the intellect and emotions of a person. So it can evoke very strong emotional reactions in its reader, which could sometimes result in violence also. So what is Article 51AH? Article 51AH says that it's a duty of every citizen to develop scientific temper, humanism and spirit of inquiry and reform. Scientifically, that means logically you should study articles. Humanism, you should have a pinch of humanity within yourself, because when violence occurs, people forget about humanity. And spirit of inquiry, you should ask questions about the correctness of the particular news, and if it's not correct, do not be violent, try to reform it. Okay, so this is important from the perspective of prelims. Now when we talk about the National Education Policy 2020 also, it also captures the needs of the nation, but it misses out on historical thinking. Historical thinking is a set of thinking skills which is required for learning history. It consists of concepts like point of view, evidence, validity, reliability of source, corroboration, etc. And it can be applied to law, forensic science, politics, research, and it can be applied to cases when we deal with the fake news. The last important article that we are going to analyze today is deal on Gogra hot springs likely soon. So India and China, they are ready to hold the 12th round of Corps Commander level talks, which aimed at resolving the standoff in eastern Ladakh soon. So here we need to understand two areas where we are going to have the discussion in this 12th round of meeting. The two areas are patrolling point 15 in Hot Springs and patrolling point 17A near the Gogra post. Both these areas lie close to the Konka Pass. Konka Pass is the boundary between India and China. It marks the boundary between India and China. And both these areas, they are two of the 4 points where Indian and Chinese soldiers are having the standoff. And these two areas are close to Changchenmo River, okay, in the Galwan subsector of LAC in eastern Ladakh. Now the point is, how significant are they for the military? Both the patrolling points 15 and 17A are in an area where India and China largely agree on the alignment of line of actual control. China has a major post of People's Liberation Army near the Konka Pass. That is why these two areas are important. Okay, so this was all for today. I hope you enjoyed this lecture series. उम्मीद करती हूँ आपको आज के lecture series अच्छा लगा हो. If you really enjoyed it, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. And the PDF of this lecture will be uploaded on my Telegram channel Simplifying UPSC with Ease. Thank you.